10 Best Picks presents the top 10 best Android tablets. Starting at number 10. New Apple iPad. The 8th Gen iPad feels familiar. It should be familiar, iPads don't change much. But the world certainly has. My whole family is trapped at home, working and going to school. Remote connections are our whole lives. And iPads and Chromebooks are everywhere in our house. My kids connect to their classes through devices, one on a Chromebook, the younger one on an iPad. iPads aren't ideal for school. They're convenient in a pinch, but not all apps work well, and not all input tools do either. The basic iPad has been the good enough iPad for forever, while the Pro and Air have offered fancier features and better performance. This year, the iPad Air is getting a major revamp with a new processor, big display and USB-C, making it look much like an iPad Pro for less. But that new iPad Air starts at $599. The new 8th Gen iPad I've been using, in the meantime, starts at $329. Most stores will probably drop that to $300, and holiday sales could even bring it down further, if past years are any indication. So what about this new 2020 entry-level iPad? It's an iPad, just like the one before. But it's a bit faster now. Whether you get one is basically the same question as before. There's not a lot to say about this new 10.2-inch iPad. It's the same device as last year with one key improvement. Now it has an A12 processor instead of last year's A10. That's a big difference and makes this a great time to consider the upgrade if you have an iPad that's several years old. Last year's basic iPad increased screen size and added a smart connector on the side, but it didn't change the processor. Upgrading is a major overhaul. But you should also know that this basic iPad is a lot like last year's 2019 iPad Air and iPad mini. So much so that, really, they're variants on the same device. Think of it as last year's Air for less, and it's a good deal. But it's also an older iPad design. It still has a Touch ID home button and a headphone jack. And it still uses Lightning to charge and connect accessories, even though the upcoming iPad Air and current Pros use USB-C. At number 9. Fire 7 tablet. Since Amazon released its first Fire tablet in 2011, it's become the de facto choice for bargain shoppers and those entrenched in Amazon's ecosphere. The latest update to its lineup, the 2019 Fire 7, is Amazon's least expensive model. But while the tech giant has made some minor improvements in processor performance and storage capacity, the overall user experience hasn't changed much. The Fire 7 features underwhelming performance, poor audio quality, and a mediocre display. While it remains the best tablet you can buy for $50, the Fire Hd8, $79.99, offers much better value for your money with faster performance, a sharper display, and stronger speakers. From the outside, the Amazon Fire 7 is a near replica of its predecessor. The front is home to a 7-inch LCD surrounded by thick bezels. The back is made of matte plastic and black or one of 3 pastel shades. There's a 2MP camera in the top left corner along with the Amazon logo. On the top of the tablet you'll find the power and volume buttons, a headphone jack, and the micro USB charging port. On the right side is a microSD slot that supports up to 512 GB of storage and can easily be opened without a tool. The left side is home to a single speaker, while the bottom is bare. If you're holding it in landscape mode, the buttons are easy to reach, but in portrait people with small hands will struggle. Even with the internal upgrades, the 2019 Fire 7 is painfully slow. It takes several seconds for the keyboard to pop up, screen transitions lag, and if you want to watch something on Amazon Prime Video, be prepared to wait. During our tests it took an average of 14 seconds for the app to open. While the Fire Hd8's hardware is only slightly more powerful with 1.5 GB of RAM, the overall experience is much more enjoyable. Number 8 of my list. Amazon Fire Hd8. The Amazon Fire Hd8 is, along with the Fire Hd8 Plus, the latest version of Amazon's 8-inch tablet, and by opting for this, rather than the Plus model you get slightly less RAM and no wireless charging, but an otherwise near identical slate at a lower price. It's an upgrade on its predecessor thanks to 30% more power, improved battery life, double the storage, and the presence of a USB-C port, but that aside this is familiar territory if you've used an Amazon slate before. You're locked into Amazon's ecosystem, which isn't quite as rich as full-fat Android, but if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber then much of your content will be front and center, and you're paying a lot less than you would for most comparable Android tablets. A few years back, the HD8 seemed sluggish, but its performance has steadily improved, and now it's pretty zippy. It isn't as responsive as an entry-level iPad, which is often on sale for about $250, but it's overall pretty smooth, and I didn't have any problem running games like Asphalt 9, Legends. That said, the 8-core processor and GPU, the graphics processor, are faster in the 10-inch Fire HD8, which also has a sharper 1080p display. When that model goes on sale for $100, it's probably the best value in tablets. But some people are looking for a smaller, lighter tablet, and the HD8 is a significant bump up from Amazon's cheapest tablet, the Fire 7. The HD8 Plus seems to wirelessly charge on any Qi-enabled charging pad, at least the ones I tried with 7.5 watts or greater charging power. But you really want the charging dock that Amazon bundles in for an extra $20. That's because one of the big appeals of the Fire HD8 Plus is that you can drop it in the dock, and it automatically goes into show mode, turning your tablet into something much like an Echo Show 8, complete with hands-free access to the Alexa voice assistant. It's still using the tablet's internal speakers instead of a real speaker, and the tablet doesn't have a more extensive microphone array for picking up your voice like an Echo speaker does. But it works well enough, and the sound is okay for watching video. You could wirelessly connect a Bluetooth speaker to augment the sound. Coming at number 7. Amazon Fire HD8. The Amazon Fire HD8 is essentially built for Amazon Prime members, since its big 1-inch 1200x1920 screen is a great way to consume the films, TV shows, and even ebooks it gives you access to. And the Amazon-centric interface used, which won't appeal to everyone, ensure you're never far from Amazon Prime content. That's not to say you shouldn't buy the Amazon Fire HD8 if you're not an Amazon Prime member. This is a durable, affordable slate with reasonable specs for the money, so it's also a strong choice for anyone on a tight budget. But some of the options above in this list will likely be a better fit if money is no object. Although the Fire HD8 boasts dual speakers with Dolby Atmos branding, audio quality isn't the tablet's strong suit. With peak volume coming in at 84 decibels, it's loud enough to fill a room, but the sound is tinny and hollow. Luckily there's Bluetooth 4.2 as well as a headphone jack for alternate listening options. The Fire HD8 is powered by a 2GHz MediaTek MT8183 octa-core processor and 2 GB of RAM. There are 32 GB and 64 GB options available, both of which support up to 512 GB of external storage with a microSD card. It's a huge performance bump over the Fire HD8, which is powered by a 1.3 GHz quad-core processor and 1.5 GB of RAM. Compared with the Apple iPad, the Fire HD8 is no speed demon, but it's pretty snappy compared with its Fire siblings. Apps open quickly, and there's only a slight hesitation when swiping between screens. We were also able to multitask with 6 apps open at the same time easily. We played Asphalt 8, a processor-intensive game, and noticed longer load times than higher-end tablets and a few skipped frames, which isn't surprising. We had no problems playing Candy Crush, however, which requires fewer system resources. At number 6. Amazon Fire HD8 Plus. The Amazon Fire HD8 Plus is the best of Amazon's 8-inch slates. It's no premium tablet, far from it in fact, so you're not getting top-end performance, but with 3 GB of RAM you do get a boost on the standard Fire HD8. Arguably the real highlight of this Plus model, though, is its support for wireless charging, and the optional dock you can therefore get that turns it into a smart display like the Echo Show. Beyond that, it's a fairly basic tablet, but with all the basics covered, a respectable amount of storage, and the same compact build as the non-Plus model. Thanks to the combination of a new 2.0 GHz quad-core MediaTek 8168 processor and some software updates, battery life is now rated at 12 hours of mixed use instead of 10. The other small upgrade is that the microSD expansion slot now accepts up to 1 TB cards. Previously, the maximum capacity was 512 GB. So all in all, there are some substantial changes. And you'll have to pay more for them. As stated above, the standard HD8 now costs $90 instead of $80, and the HD8 Plus with wireless charging and the extra gigabyte of RAM is $20 more at $110. The price for the Plus goes up another $20 if you buy the companion wireless charging dock for the Plus, which you probably want to do. Both new Fire HD8 models have the same 1280x800 pixel resolution display as the previous HD8. The screen is technically HD, but it's basically 720p and not 1080p. It's fine for watching videos, but it's not nearly as sharp as the screen you get with, say, an iPad, which is why you're paying a lot less for this. At 355 grams, the new Fire HD8 weighs a touch less than its 363 grams predecessor. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Halfway of my listed number 5. Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S4 was once our best Android tablet, but now it has been bumped down by the Galaxy Tab S6, among other things. It's not exactly cheap, although its price has dropped significantly in recent months, but it comes packing a whole host of features to ensure you're getting plenty of bang for your buck. Unlike Apple's iPad Pro range, the Galaxy Tab S4 comes with Samsung's S Pen stylus included in the box, while under the hood, you get the powerful Snapdragon 835 chipset alongside 6GB of RAM, ensuring Android runs super smoothly on screen. That's only half the story though. Pair the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4 with a keyboard and mouse, and it'll transfer from Android into a desktop-like experience as it attempts to replace your laptop as well as your tablet. The desktop aspect of the tablet is limited, but still useful. In short, the Galaxy Tab S4 is one of the most versatile Android tablets around. The truth is, our biggest issue with all tablets has little to do with stagnant specs and hardware performance. It's that they're always confined by restrictive mobile-first apps and interfaces. Samsung DeX tries to make good on that two-in-one promise with a real system dock, so you can quickly switch between apps like on a laptop. And the Tab S4 does introduce a lot of good ideas that move tablets in the right direction, toward a more productivity-friendly interface. But that doesn't make it a good buy next to the Microsoft Surface Go or one of the best Chromebooks at such a high price. Coming in at number 4 of my list. Huawei MatePad Pro. The Huawei MatePad Pro is Huawei's attempt at taking on the iPad Pro range, and in a lot of ways it's a very strong rival, from its high-quality 10.8-inch screen to its top-end power and its long-lasting battery. The Huawei MatePad Pro also has a stylish, slim, and lightweight design, plus an optional stylus and keyboard, so it's premium and built for productivity. However, in our tests we found that those accessories were simply okay, and the big problem faced by the MatePad Pro is its lack of Google services, meaning no access to the Google Play App Store and no Google apps, such as Maps. That's going to be a major issue for a lot of people, but if you can live without that, then this comes closer than most Android slates to matching the iPad Pro experience. There's also a magnetic snap-on keyboard that doubles as a folio case. Again, it's not the best tablet keyboard we've ever used, with awkward key travel and limited screen tilt options, and lack of trackpad makes it feel a little outdated. Another problem is the software. Android in general has a lot of catching up to do to match the refined iPad OS experience, though the flexibility and perks Android offers can make up for this. The MatePad Pro suffers from all the issues that plague Android tablets, but the experience is further impeded by a lack of Google mobile services. Unlike Huawei's phone range, the lack of Google mobile services doesn't mean the device is unusable. Amazon's Fire tablets have been doing just fine without Google after all, and realistically, apps on Android tablets aren't the most pleasant experience. With a few workarounds and diligent app hunting, you can get your favorite apps up and running, or use the built-in browser to gain access to their web versions, but be ready to do some research and make compromises. None of this will get in your way of using the MatePad Pro purely for entertainment. The display is gorgeous, and white aspect ratio makes movies fit snugly on the screen, and reading on the device is great as well. At number 3. Samsung Galaxy Tab S6. While it's not the newest model, The Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 is still a great Android tablet with a plethora of brilliant features. It comes with an S Pen stylus in the box that you can use to take notes, draw and much more on the tablet's display. You can also buy a smart keyboard to make it an experience that is close to a laptop. The 10.5-inch AMOLED display on the Galaxy Tab S6 is one of the highlights with an impressive resolution of 1600 x 2560. This tablet also comes with 2 cameras on the rear too, so you can get better photography than on many other slates. It's not the perfect device, there isn't a 3.5mm headphone jack and the user interface has its own quirks, but it's still a top Android slate. However, these prices compare very favorably to Apple's iPad Pro 11, which starts from $799 for the 64GB Wi-Fi model. Bump that up to the 256GB LTE specification that matches the Galaxy Tab S6's top model, and you'll be paying $1,099. And that's not factoring in the additional $129 expenditure for an Apple Pencil. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 bundles in its own stylus, the S Pen, as part of the package. You will however have to pay extra for Samsung's keyboard cover, as you do with Apple's. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Coming at number 2, Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. After spending a few weeks using the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, I've decided the tablet's capabilities exceed its name. I mean, it is lighter on features and performance than the full-fledged Galaxy Tab S6, so in that sense it is a light version. But the name does it a disservice because I never really felt like I was missing features. Maybe it's because the S6 Lite isn't trying to be an Android 2-in-1 laptop and instead just does more than I expected from a mid-range Android tablet, and that's what makes it a standout. Happy to sacrifice a few of the features of the Galaxy Tab S6 in trade for a cheaper tablet? If yes, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite is the product you want to consider. The chipset isn't as powerful as its sibling, the cameras aren't as impressive, and the screen isn't as beautiful. But it's around half the price, and all of its specs are still quite impressive for a slate at this price. It's a remarkably good product considering how much you're spending on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. It isn't particularly smaller than the Galaxy Tab S6, and ironically, it's actually heavier too, but if you don't want to spend top dollar you may love this. And number 1. Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus is the best tablet Samsung has ever made and a serious rival to the iPad Pro range. In fact, its screen arguably has those slates beat, as it's a 12.4-inch Super AMOLED one with a 2800 x 1752 resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. The iPad Pro range can match much of that, but those slates have LCD screens, which aren't quite as good. You also of course get a whole lot of power from the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus's Snapdragon 865 Plus chipset and a premium metal build that's incredibly slim at 5.7mm thick. There's also a 5G model for speedy mobile data, and Samsung's S Pen stylus comes bundled with the slate. Chuck in a keyboard and this is a serious productivity machine. But even without that, this is a top-end slate and great for media. The powerful Snapdragon 865 chipset on the tablet, combined with its 120Hz display, makes gaming an immersive and seamless experience. We tested the tablet with Asphalt 9 Legends and PUBG Mobile and didn't encounter a single hiccup. Load times are lightning fast, and the 120Hz display means you'll never see any lag or dropped frames. Benchmarks underscored our experience. On Geekbench 5, a suite of tests that quantify raw computing power, the Tab S7 Plus earned 994 single-core and 3,814 multi-core scores. That is, by far, the best score we've seen for an Android tablet sold in the US, but still falls behind the iPad Pro's 1,113 and 3,277 scores on the same tests. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, share this video and hit the like button.